Hello, my name's Claire from Conscious Chemo, and I wanted to reflect on the art of meditation. Um, when I first started meditating, and I see and hear this a lot, I think we are conditioned to believe that meditating is not thinking at all and trying not to think. Um, and in fact, it's the opposite. We don't want to be trying. It's a practice of non-inner resistance. We're accepting whatever is there in that moment without any judgment. And I know that when I first started meditating, most of the time would be a conversation in my head about the fact that I was thinking and I shouldn't be thinking, and I know I'd be thinking about that. So I'm hoping that this reflection might speak to people who are perhaps experiencing a similar thing. So when we come, really meditation for most people is a concentration practice because to drop the mind, which is the ultimate aim, but for most of us that's not going to happen in our lifetime. So for us, really, it's about concentration on one thing because the mind is designed to run away and think and flit around. That's what it does. That's its function. So we want to try and tame the mind to concentrate on one thing, and it's a practice. And there's a really nice analogy that a Buddhist teacher shared with me once that I like. And you can think of the mind when you like taking a dog for a walk and the dog goes off, but you've got it on a lead and you heel it and you bring it back to your feet. So that could be your center, your midline. So the mind wanders off and you notice that it's wandered off and then you bring it back, but with gentle love and kindness, the way you would treat or talk to perhaps to your dog. So when when we come to sit, we're observing what's there, which puts distance between our minds, our thoughts, and ourselves. And then you start to cultivate a sense that you're more than just one thing. There's two of you. There's the observer within, and then there's your human self, your ego. And you can kind of start to have conversations between those two aspects of yourself, your human self and perhaps your spiritual self, or whatever you want to label it, source, truth. And when the more you can experience that, then the more you can tap into your deeper self for guidance, for courage, and for wisdom when you are navigating life situations. And the more you realize you're more than your body or your mind, then the more inner peace you tend to be able to cultivate. And that can be so powerful when you're navigating any life situation that's thrown you off center. So these meditation or concentration practices, whether that's concentrating on counting your breath, counting the breath backwards, fingertip meditations, noticing when your mind wanders off and pulling it back to center, just observing your thoughts or observing the space between your thoughts, can be very, very powerful. And if you practice those, then you'll start to just become more aware on a day-to-day basis without having to sit and meditate. It will just naturally happen over time. And that can really change your day-to-day experience, the way you feel about things, the way you perceive things, the way you respond to things. And I know for me, it's been, such a powerful influencer in the way that I have navigated my cancer diagnosis. And really that's come from practicing since I went through divorce and other challenging life situations. So I hope that has helped to perhaps clarify for some people that it's simply being with whatever is that is the practice of meditation, not beating yourselves up, not trying too hard, try to drop the trying. It's kind of looking to find a place of being rather than doing. So eventually it will become effortless, or there'll be no charge to it. You'll just whatever arises, it's okay. It's a practice of acceptance. So thank you so much for listening. There are lots of meditations on the Harmonise online studio. There's a 30-day free trial if you are interested. And I hope you find this useful. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.